Hello and welcome to the Rhythm Factory. I'm Eddie C, and together with my co-host Peter D, we're going to bring you in touch with people in and around the music business. This is the podcast that takes you up close and personal. Hello there again, and welcome to the Rhythm Factory Music Podcast. Podcast where we take you up close and personal with people in and outside of the music industry. Right now, we have a very lovely guest with us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Want to welcome to our podcast, Mariette Hehakaya. She's a classical piano player, but with some contemporary influence in her music as well. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Maybe you want to tell people a little bit about what you're doing.
Yes. When I started, I started 7 years old, and when I was 12 years, they say, oh, you're smart, you're nice, and you can play very well the piano. So I played the first concert for Mozart, and I thought, well, this is it.
Okay, fantastic.
Well, and then after that, I was on the gymnasium, and I have to start also the conservatory, and I did it together, and it was a very hard time because I was a little girl on that side, and on the other side, I have to study Chopin and things like that.
Okay, so it was pretty difficult being at that young age.
Yes, but after that I did, and I'm very look at the world. So this is it, and playing the piano, and meet some other people, also in the pop world.
Yeah.
And I thought, what did I do with classical music? But I like it very much.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, that's good.
So right.
Okay. You wanna ask a question, Pete?
Yeah. You're a very versatile and colorful, talented woman, but you're also very busy. You have a busy life. And I was wondering, how do you manage to be a single mom, a teacher or a coach, a pianist and a composer all together?
Well, that's a nice question. Yes, I think when you're getting older, you accept that all things are one. That's me. So it's not the different point that you said I had to be a coach or I had to be a teacher. No, every part of that, you use it. And yes, that's me. So if I'm very comfortable with myself, I can do everything what I want, actually. And yes, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But how about the time? I mean, there's only such a couple of hours in one day, and you got to do it all together. Is that something that maybe sometimes you feel like it's wearing you out, or do you get all the energy out of it?
Yes, I think I'm much difficult for myself because I had to do that. And also one of my coaches, I have also a coach, he said, you have to sleep.
Right.
Yeah. That's a difficult one. Yeah.
So sleep is an important one. Good life, good food, nutrition, etc. Sport, right.
What kind of sports are you doing?
Well, I'm running 10 kilometers now, and fitness also.
Okay.
And yes, I run 2 times a week.
Okay, that's great. That's more than me.
I'm a woman, you know. You have to be. I'm sitting the whole day, so you have to do something.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Did I?
Yeah, you answered the question.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take the next or.
Why don't you take this question?
Yeah, well, being a classical pianist from origin, Are there other styles of music that you perform as well, like jazz or pop, for example? Eddie also told a little bit about the contemporary music you have, but can you tell a little bit more about that?
Well, I think now I will understand. I love very much the classical music. I can remember that I was a little child, very little, a baby, and I heard Beethoven on the radio. It was Wilhelm Kempf, and I thought I want to play that. And also Bach by Brendel, and I want to play that. And my mother, she liked classical music, but my father, you know, is from a different country, from Indonesia. That's a different kind of music, very rhythm, and that's in my roots. And now I understand that I mixed it. Well, when I play Bach or Schubert or things like that, I put the accent.
Yeah, the accent. Yeah.
A little bit on a different place that usual had to do.
Okay.
That's also a hard time for me when I was studying conservatory, that the people said, "Why did you doing that?" But I cannot help it. I thought I have to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. When I'm playing a fuga from Bach, you know, I feel it, you know, like swing, da 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 da, like do da 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 da. It's whole different.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're playing the piano, you can put a different way of playing, to shape, to explain the music as, listen to this is Bach, it's beautiful. It's not beautiful as the mathematics system, but also if you're playing the piano, because I'm a pianist, you can make the tune so that it is, you can hear that special thing, and then it's swinging.
Right.
The
Not one,
dynamics.
look at me, I can swing. No, I'm not like that. But listen to that, a note.
The dynamics.
The dynamic and the expression
Right.
you put in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
and that's the special way that I play the piano.
Wow.
The way how to.
Yeah.
It's
And
philosophic.
is that something you tell your students?
Yes, that's yeah. Everyone can playing the piano, because here are the notes and there are chords. No, the way how to. How are you? What do you want? And the feeling about that, like quantum touch on the instrument.
All right.
That's deep.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Thank
You
you.
made, you know, you recently made an album called Tales of the River, and I know you also went to the States, went to the West Coast for a while, and also for promoting it and
Right.
to do some stuff with it. And I remember playing with you a couple of times on some of your sessions, and it's very lovely music, and it amazes me. I mean, we've spoken about it personally, about your whole concept about it, but maybe we'd like to share that with our viewers and our listeners about how you came up with this concept and what it means for you.
Yes, there's a new way now. People accept it, because I'm hearing colors, and I thought I was different when I was young. People thought, yes, I'm not normal, but what is normal? So that the colors, I have some sound with it, and then I have to change it in music. And that's a synthesis.
Synthesis.
Yeah, difficult word.
Yeah.
Also in the Dutch. But well, it's not when you are painting with colors from as a painter, but you are painting with colors from music.
Yeah.
And if you have a grand piano and a big one, you hear the sound is the color. And well, I make my life in a color, and it's not easy. A lot of people did it. Pink Floyd did it too.
Mm-hmm.
As a way, as a river.
Right.
It starts with the in the beginning.
At the beginning,
And
right.
you're going up in the ocean. Everyone has that. You too.
Mm.
And I hope when you listen to my music, I'm a pianist, so I make a piano suite, that you are following the river as it is. Not my river. I make it. It's my river. I made it. And but you have the same way to do. And I hope that's what music for is, communication, that I bring. I knew the language, so I hope you will understand the language, so you can feel your emotion in the music, not only mine.
Okay. That's quite interesting, because it is, I listen to the CD, I must admit it, quite a lot, and my partner, she likes the CD also very much. She's at home, and it's very relaxing music, but and emotional. And you can, I think anyone who listens to it, who has an open ear and an open mind, can find a place of themselves in there. It's like going through a flow of life,
Yes.
which is what I get out of it,
Yeah, right.
personally.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know, with an open mind and open ears, and with the story you tell, I feel there's a lot of spirituality in your music. At least that's what I hear, and that's what I hear in your story. And I was wondering if that's true, if you approach it from a spiritual standpoint, and how do you do that? I mean, if you sit down, there has to be sort of a river inside yourself to let it flow out into the instrument or the composition.
Yeah. How did you do that? Well, I'm not an expert to translate how to do that, because things happened, and that's life. And well, I see and I hear, and I have to connect it to each other. And most important thing is yeah, you know, it's follow the heart, follow your heart. And if you had the talent to translate it in different things, you have to do that, because I think you have to bring people things that they feel happy, they feel comfortable. I need that too. So I think other people need that also. So if you playing 2 notes on the piano, you have to feel happy. And well, I don't know if I do that special. I think I accept more than I'm a person like that. And if you're more that person, yeah, you can do only your way.
Right, and it comes out naturally.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
well, you know,
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, you know, how do you visualize your classical background and your teaching in today's world? You know,
Yeah.
it's of course it's a modern world, and of course music, the classical music. How do you portray that with your students, and to get them to say touch back to the classical roots?
Yeah. Well, they have to do what I told them.
That's a good one.
I always said, yes, you have your way, but I'm so sorry. Now you have to try my way, because I knew that's you can try it. That's the way. But we have a lot of technical books and thoughts. You know, Czerny was one of them, who was a friend of Beethoven's. And he was a man who said, practice 20 times each day this part. Well, now there are a lot of philosophic, esoteric people. They said you have to try 21 days, 21. Well, I looked at that book, and I thought, surely the Gelaufigkeit, that's the thing. 20 times a day you have to try to do this. And now they write about it, and that man, you know, how many years ago he said you have to practice.
Right.
That's the only way. Practice. I practice a lot of time on my grand piano. Maybe it's not enough, but what is enough? You know, people who do with the Liedconcours.
Yeah.
You know, it's a full-time job to study that part,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. How did you do all the things? Well, it is very frustrated. I'm frustrated about it because I cannot study enough. Because there's more.
There's so much more. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I was a little child, I studied 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day to be the best. What's the best? And I thought I'm not good enough because I'm studying 3 hours a day and not 6 hours a day. And I started not when I was 2 years old. Lang studied when he was 2. No, I studied the piano when I was 7 years old. So I was 5 years too late.
Right.
How many hours are that? You know?
Yeah.
Well, now when I'm with my students, tell them, use your brain. Don't make so many hours because it's impossible, but use your brain to be focused on what you are doing.
Yeah.
If you do that 10 minutes a day, or 5 minutes a day, then your results are better. If you said, okay, now it's the clock, I do my watch, 1 hour, now I'm studying. No, then the result is not good.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned that you have to focus very well, so you can study 5-10 minutes a part of that. Not at the beginning, but you take a part of it.
A piece of it. Yeah.
And then your technical things. Use your brain. Are you out of it? Stop. And then you build it up.
Okay.
Because I told them there's one big line, and if you put all the small pieces in it, the big line will be
complete.
Right.
Yeah,
I have to do the same.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's true. Great.
Yeah.
Great answer. Great
Yes.
answer. You got another question?
Well, I was actually wondering. It's sort of a question we ask everybody. If you have a funny or awkward situation that you can recall in a studio or a live setting, which is nice to share with us and our audience.
Well, actually, there's a lot of. Well, one take of when I was in the orchestra, in the youth orchestra, where the tours, and I go with them because I was a little child. It was National Youth Orchestra, and we go to Austria and things like that. But I have not always played the piano, so I play percussion. And it is nice to sit behind the brass, because they are people who do things like that. So, and then I know one of the Mussorgsky, and there was a trumpet. He had to small thing, you have to put it in his thing. So we take it and put it behind it, and then yes, was his partner. He was looking for it. It's so funny. It's so. And then look at him from, where are you? You have to play. What's happened? But you put it away. And because I was little and a correct girl, I have to do that, because they never said she did it, but I did.
You got the job to do that,
yeah. One last question we'd like to ask you. What are your musical plans for let's say, the coming few years? We always ask this question as well. How do you see yourself, let's say, in the next 3 or 4 years or 5 years, as a musician, in combination with your whole view and philosophy about life and everything? How do you see that?
Well, I'm also teaching people who has a disorder, and I think they need to play music. They may need to play the piano, I have to do that. It's very important. After that, I had Tales of the River, the Water. Now I'm looking at the wind, and making new way of how can I translate the wind. You know, the eagle who is flying. You know, in America, the Indians. And which instrument do I need to do that? Because I think it's not a piano suite, you know, but more percussion, as you.
Yeah.
And other instrument from Persia, so that you can the wind, that you feel it.
So you want to use you want to basically use the piano, you say your tool, but you want to use these other instruments as a more or less as a sort of the colors to describe the different moods of the wind.
Right. And I have to need it. I did it by myself, you know. I need to do that, and now I'm more open for more instruments.
Okay.
But the piano is the basic, of course.
Sure.
And of course it will be piano pieces, and yes, wind and water. I have to make that as composition.
Yeah, that's important elements, huh?
Yes.
Basic elements in life.
Yeah, but I have to do now the wind, because sometimes I dream about the eagle, and he's looking up to the world, what's happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Oh, okay.
So that's
Thank you very much, Mariette, for coming and joining us today on the podcast at the Rhythm Factory. Do you have a website or email that if people want to contact you about more about your music that they can reach you at?
Yes, it was my name, but now it's more brightly. It's Yet Sound, because I do the different things, teaching, special teaching, making color sound, making music.
So people can find you also on Facebook.
On my name.
Okay.
And they can write me, but I had also Yet Sound, Mariette at yetsound.com.
Okay, fantastic.
So that'd be a new
that's your new
website.
site.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
Fantastic. All right. Once again, thank you for joining us on this podcast. Welcome. We want to thank our guest one more time, Mariette Hehakaya. She's actually a very wonderful pianist and great philosophy behind what she does. My sidekick and co-host, Mr. Peter Doppen. You can reach Peter Doppen at
info@peterdoppen.nl. That's Peter DOPPEN.nl.
And you can reach me at jazzoldmusic at gmail.com. That's JAZSOL at gmail.com. Or you can go to the website of the Rhythm Factory, and that's Rhythm Factory with a stripe in between, .nl. Thank you again, and this was the Rhythm Factory. Ciao.